Cheevo, guys!
What up, guys? This is
Cheevo, guys!
back here again with another video. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys some beta gameplay from CrossfireX. Right now, the game is in a closed beta on the 22nd and 23rd. The 24th, they're going to shut it down, but on the 25th, they're going to open up the open beta. So anybody will be able to join up and try CrossfireX. Now, personally, I was playing this on my Xbox One X. I got about 4 or 5 hours into this beta, so I played the beta quite a bit. I wanted to make sure I could get some good footage for you guys and that I could do a good job of explaining the game. So as far as I know, this is going to be a multiplayer only release. I haven't heard of them adding any type of campaign to the game. The game is also going to be free to play, I believe, on Xbox One and PC. Now, in the beta, we have 3 different game modes available. 2 of them are considered classic game modes, and then 1 is a modern game mode. So the difference between the 2 categories is basically the controls. The classic game modes have older style controls. There's no sprinting, there's no zooming in on your gun, nothing like that. Versus the modern game modes have sprinting. They also have zooming in with the left trigger on most of your guns. Now, in the beginning of each match, we're going to be able to change our loadout. We have 5 different loadout options. For now, I went ahead and started off with the AK-47. Now, the mode I'm playing right now is called Search and Destroy. It's your typical attack and defend type of match. One team has to set some C4 on their objective to blow it up, and the other team has to go either eliminate all of the other team or go defuse their C4 before it explodes. Now, out of all 3 modes available in the beta, I played the Search and Destroy mode the most. And in my experience, the matches didn't even last long enough for any of the teams to set the C4. I maybe seen the C4 set maybe like once or twice. In most cases, the teams are just going at each other, and more than likely, one team's going to get wiped out before the other team has a chance to set the C4. So basically, this is like a team deathmatch. I don't know how they could fix it so that maybe you can rely more on setting the C4. I think they would have to allow you to respawn to do that, because as of right now, you get 1 life. So if you die, you're dead for that round, and the first team to win a certain amount of rounds wins. And about halfway through the match, it switches sides from attacking to defending. So you spend about half of the match attacking and about half of the match defending. Now, I gotta admit, classic modes are probably going to take some getting used to, just because I think at this point, most people that play first-person shooters are used to, sprint mechanics and being able to zoom in with the left trigger. So just know that this is kind of like classic Counter-Strike style first-person shooter, at least for the classic modes. If you want something more modern, I recommend playing one of the modern modes. Now, in each match, the teams are split up into 2. One half is the global risk, and then one half is the blacklist. Doesn't really matter who you are, those are just the names of the teams. Ultimately, no matter what team you are, you end up attacking and defending your points at one point in time. Now, personally, I don't play a lot of online multiplayer, especially first-person shooter online multiplayer. Personally, I like Gears of War if I'm going to play anything online. However, I actually found that CrossfireX was a lot of fun. I ended up, putting 4 to 5 hours into it, which I really didn't expect to. And again, the game has a lot of potential. I hope that they do end up adding a story mode, because I can imagine that would be pretty awesome given the way that they've set up the game so far. Alright, so let's dive into the second classic mode. It says suppress the enemies and detonate or protect the target site. So ultimately, the objective of each match is going to be the same as the previous mode. We need to set the C4 if we're on offense, and if we're on defense, we just need to make sure that the opponents do not set the C4, and if they do, we need to go disable them. Now, other than that, this is the ghost mode. I believe that's what it's called. And the twist to this mode is that half of the players, at least the players on offense, are going to have a cloak. So they're invisible, at least most of the time. So the way it works is that if they're moving, you can kind of see them just a little bit. However, if the ghost is standing still for a few seconds, they will turn completely invisible. So I'm going to show you some gameplay of me playing as the ghost. I'm the person on the team with the C4 right now. Only one of the teammates gets the C4, so you have to protect that teammate. If they do die, they drop the C4, and one of the other teammates on offense will have to pick up that C4 and go and try to set it. Otherwise, you can just try to eliminate everybody on the other team. So as you can see, I'm trying to be stealthy here. If you stand still for, I believe, maybe 3 seconds, then you end up disappearing. Now, the objective point is over there, objective A. What I need to do is make my way over there, and I need to set the C4. If I can set the C4 long enough, it'll end up exploding and we'll win this round. Again, typically this doesn't happen. Typically, everybody dies on one of the teams before the C4 is set and expires and ends up exploding. However, your boy is about to make it happen. So let's see if we can sneak our way up there and set this C4, and hopefully we can protect it long enough for it to detonate. This game mode was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed playing as the ghost. However, playing on the other side I found was super sketch and made me pretty anxious, just because you have these invisible people with knives running around all over the place, and it's pretty easy to have somebody sneak up on you and slash you without you even seeing them coming. Personally, I found that the best strategy for the ghost mode, at least while you're on defense, was to use the shotgun, because the shotgun is going to give you your best chance against these ghosts. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the third game mode here in the closed beta. It's going to be one of the modern game modes. The level is called GP Tower, and let me tell you, it is meant for sniper rifles. I found that I had the most fun while using the sniper rifle on this level, just because it's actually like a pretty long level. You can kind of stay on one side and be able to snipe yourself some pretty easy kills if you're staying on one side. However, I just didn't want to, camp and snipe the whole time, so I mixed it up a little bit and tried a few different weapons in this game mode. Now, it's a lot easier to use some of these guns now that we can zoom in with the left trigger. I found that it was, really difficult getting used to the classic controls on the old school first-person shooter controls where you couldn't zoom in on your gun. I mean, at least everybody's even, everybody's in the same situation online. Nobody else can zoom in, but you really got to be good at that no-scope stuff. Now, I also want to point out that in the modern game mode, at least the one that I'm playing here, it allows you to upgrade your defense. So, for instance, you can end up upgrading to a riot shield, and then you can even upgrade past that, and it gives you a riot shield with the Uzi. So you can kind of spend your points along the way while you're playing this game mode in effort to help you, get some better weapons or better protection. Now, eventually, after you capture some of the points, or vice versa, you're going to have to advance to point C. Now, objective C is the third objective point. It's going to be a little more concentrated because both teams are going to be trying to capture that one point, versus, the first half of the match, both teams were trying to capture 2 different objective points. So not necessarily everybody was going to one spot. But once it gets to the second half of the match, you're going to have to zipline yourself down, and we're going to have to try to take over control point C. Now, if I remember correctly, this game is supposed to have a ton of modes, and I'm talking about I'm not talking about 5 or 10, I'm talking about 20 plus game modes. I think it's supposed to have free-for-all, your traditional team deathmatch, elimination, I think even a zombies mode, and some really crazy modes. I would definitely look into it. I wish I had a screenshot of a list of game modes that they're going to have in this game. Just know that there's going to be a ton of replay value in this game. And again, hopefully they add some sort of campaign or story mode eventually, so That way we can get even more replay value. Anyhow, just wanted to give you guys a quick early look at a upcoming Xbox exclusive, CrossfireX. Again, this footage was recorded on a Xbox One X. I also believe this game will be a next-gen title as well, so definitely make sure you keep an eye out for CrossfireX, and maybe even try out the open beta when it's open in a few days on the 25th. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.